Hey guys, what's up? Sorry I have been absent from YouTube. There's been a lot that's happened. I recently learned how to do a headstand. I could definitely show you guys if that's something you're interested in. Welcome to my channel. I feel like this gives early YouTube. I'm giving like high schooler. The last time that I filmed a video, I was looking for a job and then I got 2 jobs and then now I'm like transitioning to another job. So basically the whole 8 months that I didn't post any videos was because I was working 2 jobs. It was a little bit insane and I worked a lot. My 2 jobs were, one is I work at Phil's and I still work at Phil's now. And then the other one is working at an elementary school. So I worked at an elementary school in the Tenderloin at the after school program. But then the school year ended like 2 weeks ago. So I just finished that job. And then I'm gonna be working at Phil's this summer. And then I got a new job starting next school year, which is school office manager. I'm very excited for that job because that's honestly exactly what I was looking for. I did like, to an extent. Working at the school I worked at, it was a really high need population, so it was really difficult. And I do like teaching, but I feel like I like working with a mix of students and also adults. And I also like doing administrative and like organizational behind the scenes tasks, and I feel like I'm good at those. So I'm just excited because I feel like it's a really good blend of everything I'm good at. That'll be my first full-time job out of college, so obviously big steps, exciting stuff. So this summer is really chill for me, which is nice because I'm only working at Phil's. I literally got there at 5:15 a.m. this morning. I opened, but then I got off at 10. I literally have the whole day. So I've been trying to keep myself busy and do different things and just relax as well, because I would work like 10 hours a day, like most days when I had the 2 jobs, and I had to commute. Like I would like go from one straight to the other, and it was just so much work. Like it was a grind for sure. But I feel like it's definitely something that a lot of people experience getting into the job market. And I also feel like low-key, when I had those 2 jobs, all of my hobbies went out the window just a little bit. I was so busy, I did kind of stop doing the things that I really enjoy doing, like even like my favorite podcast, and I wasn't reading very much. So I feel like I've been getting back into those things, filming videos. I've been like running more again. I should definitely film a week in my life to show you guys what my life is like now. Yeah, just like spending a lot of time outside. I go for a lot of walks, catching up with friends. I've been hanging out with a lot of people from my church, which has been really lovely. I've been baking. I've been getting a lot of new clothes, going thrifting and such. I really like this shirt, for example. I got it off eBay, which I feel like was a really good find from Madewell, called the like 90s cotton shirt or something. I also have some new hobbies that I want to start doing. I want to buy a cruiser skateboard, so I'm looking on like Facebook Marketplace. Something random that I want to try out is making a stamp from this carving stuff. So my brother made me 2 for Christmas. This is one of them. So he just like carved out a design that he made, and then you put ink on it and stamp it onto like a print or something. And so that's something random that I thought would be like really cool to do. I saw a video of someone making one. Like I said, I've been walking a lot, and I used to really not like walking. I like to run, but I always just thought walking was really boring, even growing up. But I went on a trip recently. I got back like a month ago from doing the Camino de Santiago.
I built a wall so high it touched the sky, and we were safe inside. I planted flowers, trees, mountains, moons, every star was mine. But in the distance, the horizon, sun is setting, smoke is rising up. My flowers turn to me, we're wilting, someone's in the shadows hiding out. Oh, we tried to run, we tried to hide from the stranger in the garden, face to the dark, ready to find the stranger in the garden. The stranger in the garden. A whisper on the wind, a secret in the night sounds like my name. And through the wooded maze, I swear I saw the echo of a face. Turn every stone, search every corner from the mountain.
It's historically a pilgrimage, a Catholic pilgrimage. So there's remains of a prophet, St. James, buried under this church in Santiago de Compostela, which is a city in Spain. And since his remains were buried under this church, people wanted to come like visit and pay respects or something. So priests would walk from wherever they lived to this church in Spain. But basically now there's a bunch of different paths. And so I started in Porto, Portugal, and then walked to Santiago de Compostela, which is where everyone ends. Like everyone ends in the same city. So it's really like cool, and you end at the church. So it's like there's like this big square, and I did it with two of my best friends that I studied abroad with, Margot and Sarah. And it was just so fun. You walk for literally 2 weeks. In total, we walked about like 200 miles. We did the littoral coastal route. So basically you just walk and you have a passport that you get stamps in. So let me show you guys my passport. Okay, so this is my passport that we bought at like a pilgrim's office in Porto. And basically wherever you go, like restaurants, hostels, cafes, post office, like they all have stamps to give you. And so every day you just like fill this up with stamps. And so this is proof basically that you actually walked and went to all these places. It's obviously also just cool to have this as a souvenir and like look back on all the cool stamps and like all the places you went. I would say a good way to describe it is it wasn't like super high highs, but it's just so calming and peaceful, and there are like beautiful views. We walked for 14 days. You can kind of choose how long you want to do it. You just get into such a simple routine. So we just get up 6 or 7 when I start walking, get breakfast, and then we would have like friends that we would see like every day, stop with them and hang out for like an hour or something, and then keep walking, get lunch, and then we would get to our albergue, is what it's called, where you sleep at, maybe like 3 or 4, and then like settle down, like take a shower, whatever, and then go out for dinner and like do your laundry, wash your clothes in the sink. It was such a good reset relating to like technology. We barely used our phones, mostly for just pictures and navigation. Like we didn't listen to music, we didn't listen to podcasts. We watched 2 episodes of Survivor together. And so I feel like coming back, I've definitely been evaluating my use of my phone, and I feel like I've been working on that a lot and making real progress, which is exciting. Like I've been just doing small things to slowly rewire my brain to not be so like attached to my phone, because it literally is like, even I think our body like wants to be holding our phone. I think it's like a comfort thing to be physically holding your phone because you hold it so much. And yeah, just your brain is like in between tasks. I feel like it's wired to reset by like going on your phone. One thing I've been doing is eating meals without watching anything, because your brain obviously needs time to like process stuff, and I feel like we don't give it as much time as it needs. You know, I've deleted Instagram off my phone for a while, and I recently deleted YouTube off my phone as well. Like, I can watch YouTube, but having it on your phone is just a little bit too easy. And I feel like, honestly, it's just making things more inconvenient. Like, I still watch YouTube videos on my phone, but I have to like look it up. And so you're just not gonna do it as much, and you're not gonna be like scrolling on YouTube shorts because the app isn't there for you to go on. Okay, my camera's gonna die. Okay, I came back and I got a package. And guess what it is? Old Navy overalls that I got from eBay. I've been waiting for these for so long, and I really hope they fit. I used to have the same ones in a different size. So they basically don't fit, and I'm ugly. Thank you for joining me in that unboxing. This summer, I am not doing too much, but I am going on a series of trips, I guess. So I'm going to Alaska at the end of July, beginning of August, with my family, going on an Alaskan cruise, which is gonna be really awesome. And then I'm going to Portland, Maine with some of my best friends that I studied abroad with, including the ones I did the Camino with. And then after that, I'm gonna go home for a few days back to Virginia. Yeah, another update is that I think I'm going to move out of this apartment, and I move a lot. Not that I particularly want to, but it just kind of happens. But I have been here for a year, which is a decent amount of time. Updates on that to come. I love my room here, so I'll definitely miss that. I have a really big room, but this house is like a little bit ugly, and I don't have a lot of natural light. This is my only window, and I have a stunning view of the stairs. And yeah, I just think it would be fun as well to meet some new people and expand my circle from people from just my school. I could talk about my old job and how stressful it was. I'll briefly talk about that, and then maybe I can talk about something positive to end us off on. Okay, so I worked at an after-school program. I worked with 2nd and 3rd graders. I also just got such bad anxiety from that job. Like, even touring the school before I worked there, I had really bad anxiety. It was just like a lot, and I just think I wasn't really ready to work with elementary schoolers on my own. And so you basically have a group of like 15 students, and it's like, it's not that serious. Like, you just have recess and you have a meal together and you plan activities. And I like loved my kids individually, but I mostly had boys, and they were just like insane, like in the kindest way I say that, but they just had so much energy, and they were just like very reactive to each other. Like, if one person was doing something, like, they're so easily distracted. And so I had that job for 7 months, and I definitely thought about quitting after like a few weeks in. I was like, this is just so much. Like, I would come home from work and be like crying, and I got really bad anxiety going to work, and like I couldn't fall asleep because I was just anxious. And I thought about leaving all throughout the job, but I'm proud of myself for staying through it, even though I definitely could have left, and maybe that would have been a smarter option for my health. But I feel like I did learn so much about working with elementary schoolers and being forced into such a like intense position where you have to lead like a bunch of kids. You don't have a ton of support. You just learn quick. You learn a lot more than you would just working in like a calmer environment, basically. And it was also hard because these kids just are going through a lot. Yeah, like their family situations aren't the most stable, and it's a Title I school, so it's like very low income and stuff. So I'm grateful for that job. I hated it a little bit, just a little bit. I've been trying to draw more, and then I'll show you something I drew. I was at a coffee shop and I drew the exit sign, and then later that night I was on BART and I drew this sign that doesn't have any words on it. That's me. Those are my updates for you. A brief synopsis of how I am and how the last 8 months have been. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate all of you for being here. I hope I get to talk to you soon.